Hi there, it's me again. So, this is take two because my phone did not want to save the video because it keeps on complaining about my memory, and I didn't even save it live on IG because something happened with the app. So here I am again on December 21st doing Fulfilling Life. And yeah, so we are discussing Me Too, and I know that you may have thought of the Me Too movement, which was circulating this year. However, that is not what I'm here to talk about. This topic is not related to that Me Too movement. It's something different. But first off, thank you for joining the Fulfilling Life Friday live video. And for those who are watching the replay, that's awesome. YouTube channel, etc. So let's get into it. I'm going to be discussing 3 areas today, and then you can have a better understanding of what Me Too is. Thank you once again for joining. I really want to make sure that I get these videos saved because I feel like these messages are important, and even if I touch just a few people, then I will have done my job. So the first topic that I want to discuss relating to what I mean by Me Too is your desires and goals. So 2019 is just a few days away, literally. And so I wanted to encourage you to start planning, like seriously start planning and thinking about what you want to happen in 2019. And reflect on your 2018 and say, hey, this is what happened in my 2018. This is what I wish I would have been able to accomplish. These are the things I wish would have been established or manifested for the year. But now, since I'm coming to 2019, maybe I can change that. Maybe I can make sure that those things that didn't happen in 2018 can now happen in 2019. There's a bug. And so that's what I want to talk about, your desires and your goals. So since 2017, the beginning of 2017, I have been able to use a tool to create a way to track my desires and goals and to track when they manifest, but also the goals when I'm able to accomplish my goals. And so that is my recommendation to you, is to have that self-accountability tool in place. And so when it comes to your goals and the things that you desire for 2019, then you can be able to look back at those goals and say, hey, this is what happened, this is what I was able to do, and set that reminder to make sure you're completing your tasks and reminding yourself of your goals and desires. And so I feel like that is the first step to manifesting what you want and getting things done is by writing down your goals and your desires. That's the first step. The second step is to plan. And what I mean by planning, I mean by setting up a way so that you are continuously reminding yourself of your goals, but also planning to accomplish those goals. It's one thing to write them down and say, hey, this is something I want to get done, I'm going to accomplish this. It's another thing to actually be able to get it done. So on a weekly basis, I set a weekly to-do list. And so I will get a piece of white paper and I will literally write in boxes where I can check off what I've done. And I realized that having adopted that habit has allowed me to be able to accomplish my goals even more. I think there's something that comes with being able to actually check something off and say, hey, I did that, and knowing that you no longer have to think about it because it's already done. And then if it's something related to something that you're building, then it's just awesome when you're able to accomplish something and mark that off the list of things that you are wanting to do. And so that's great. And then another component to that is scheduling. So synchronize your schedule your calendar with your goals and your desires. And so if you, for example, during the week, you're like, okay, so by Tuesday, I need to write up this email that I plan on sending to this person, or I need to write a few pages of my book, or whatever the case is. Putting that, synchronizing it with your calendar makes you more accountable, but you're getting that secondary reminder to say, hey, so Kia, I'm talking about myself, Kia, so you're supposed to do this, and now it's coming on your phone again. And maybe the first time when I looked at it written down, I hadn't remembered it, but hey, it popped on my phone again, so now I can remember to do it. Also, a great thing about the fact that you can schedule on your phone is that you can hit that snooze button. So for example, if you say, okay, so I have this goal and I needed to work on a computer. I need to work on a computer to establish this goal or to complete this goal, then you can hit that snooze button and say, hey, I'm going to snooze this for an hour, because in an hour I'll have access to my computer. So I feel like that secondary ability to schedule things is just awesome, because then you can actually get those reminders. And that's all about self-accountability and saying, hey, I need to get this done. Let me make sure I put enough steps in place to ensure that I get it done. So the next area I wanted to talk about is manifestation. So that first step, you took that first step, you wrote down your desires and your goals, and then you were able to do some planning to make sure that you're able to accomplish those goals, and then you synchronize your schedule with those goals. So the next step is manifestation. So because you are writing down your goals, because you are reviewing them on a regular basis throughout the year, then you're able to have the mindset that they're going to happen. So that's what manifestation is about, and I discussed this in one of my other Fully Life Friday videos, is that that manifestation comes with your mindset and your faith system and your belief that you will accomplish those things or your goals, and your belief that you will be able to manifest the things that you want to manifest. And so that is why I recommend those areas to do, is to have that accountability system. And now you can be in expectancy and you can expect those things to happen, because you have been reviewing them on a monthly basis, you've been believing in them, you've been working towards them. And so let me provide you more details on what I have been doing since 2017. So since 2017, I have used this tool in order to check in every month to see my progress. So I can check in on the goals that I have for the year, but I can also check in on my desires for the year. And so if one of my desires is to produce something, to write a book, for example, then I can go back and say, okay, so it's April. Was I able to accomplish that thing? Was I able to finish writing my book? And if not, me going back and looking at it is like a reminder, like, hey, so you said you wanted to write a book, so where's that book at? So that's my way of having that self-accountability, to be able to go back and say, well, did that happen? And have you been taking the steps towards doing that? And it's a way to say, to give you that push and say, so if it hasn't happened yet, so get started. Stop making excuses. So it's kind of like that self-accountability, but also like having that conversation with yourself, like, so you need to get that done. So yeah, I feel like that's a great way to manifest, is to have that self-accountability in place. And by reviewing it on a regular basis, even if it's once a month, you're able to really believe and watch those things manifest. So finally, let's cover what this discussion topic is actually about, or the meaning of what the title of this discussion is, which is Me Too. And I'm not referring to the Me Too movement. I'm referring to something different. And so let me start by an example that I can provide to you about what I mean about that. So my friends and I went to a location, and it was in Northern California. And this location was basically a residence of a well-known famous family in Northern California, and we were visiting their residency, their home, which had been passed down for generations. And so we're standing in the driveway of this home, and my friends are speaking on, oh, it'd be so nice to live here, and wow, it's just so beautiful and vast, and things like that. And yes, it was. This home was probably worth millions of dollars, especially being in Northern California. And so when they were saying those things, I said under my breath, just give me a few years. And I'm sure that people, if they heard me or not, would have been like, okay, like sure, Kia. But for me, I was serious about it. I'm so serious about it because I feel like I can have those things too. I may have come from a middle class family, but I don't feel like that dismisses me from something like that. I feel that wealth doesn't have to just go to the wealthy. It can also go to the people who have started off middle class and who have been able to build something in order to obtain something like that. And I'm not saying that I want directly exactly what someone has, and we can often say, oh wow, I wish I could have something like that, or I wish I could have her platform, or I wish I could have her audience, or I wish I could have this and that about someone else. But in reality, we don't know what it took that person to get that. We also don't know their lifestyle and what it really means to them. Because success does not just come from receiving things or accomplishing some things. And we all know that based on how celebrities sometimes react to having so much, is that they eventually are very sad, and they're not happy about it, or not fully happy and truly happy. And so that's what I mean by not wanting something just because someone else has it. I want whatever I want to be unique to me and unique to my goals, unique to my personality, and unique to my capabilities. And so, no, I'm not going to say that I want something from someone else, but I would say that I would want to be able to accomplish something similar that's unique to me and my goals. And so what my message is from that is to not dismiss yourself from the opportunities of having things like that just because you came from a certain background. Just because you came from a middle class family doesn't mean that you have to stay middle class. Just because you came from a family that has not been business owners, or they have never been entrepreneurs, or they never established anything of their own, they've never written a book, I can go on forever, doesn't mean that you can't be the first person in your family to do that. It doesn't mean that you can't be the first in the family to set records, to change the direction of what your family is going to be doing for generations. And so that's what I mean by Me Too. When you're in an environment where you are with people who have accomplished the things that you have wanted to accomplish, or if you're around someone who maybe is on a different economic status or anything like that, I challenge you to say Me Too and believe that you are capable of achieving something similar. And I'm not saying the same thing, but something similar that is going to be unique to your goals, your characteristics, and your capabilities. And so my challenge, again, is to not dismiss yourself from the opportunity of being great, the opportunity of having something that maybe your family was never able to have, the opportunity to move your family to the next level, the opportunity to make sure that your children and your children's children are not living a lifestyle that is similar to what your grandparents went through, or similar to something that you don't want for them. And so that's what I mean about Me Too, is that you are in agreement and believing that you can do things that others have done that maybe someone has said would never be possible for you. So yeah, that is what I wanted to talk about. So going back to those goals and desires and the tool that I have been able to establish for that, I will be sending out an email to my subscribers to basically give them that tool to be able to use that throughout the year for that self-accountability, but also in order to ensure they're manifesting the things that they want. So if you are not a subscriber, you can subscribe at kiaharris.com. On top of that, you receive 2 motivational emails each week on Mondays and Fridays. And so I just really want you to be able to accomplish your goals in 2019 and not just write them down on a piece of paper and say, oh yeah, I want to get it done, and then that piece of paper is ended up in the trash somewhere, and then it's November 2019 and you're like, wow, so what happened? I wasn't able to do that, and I said I was going to do it. So yeah, go ahead and go to kiaharris.com if you're interested in that. So I wanted to end by speaking some blessings over you and your weekends for this holiday season. And so I want to start by blessing your 2019. It's just around the corner, and so I want to ensure that you have a successful, favor-filled, manifesting growth 2019, a power 2019. And I also want to speak blessings over your friends and families, that they are able to accomplish their goals, but also be all that they are, whatever that looks like for them. I also want to speak blessings over your finances. In the holiday season, things can get a little interesting, I guess you could say. So I just want to speak over your finances and call in increase for you and your family. And then finally, I want to speak blessings of your mind. Your mind is a powerful thing. So make sure you are always making sure that you are seeking opportunities to grow your mind and grow as a person, and that can be done through reading and books and going to seminars, to change your mindset into something that matches what you are wanting for your life. So if your mindset is that you are possibly not going to accomplish something, or if your mindset is limiting in a way that you would like to do something, you would like to write the best-selling book, however your belief system says that it won't be possible for you, then you might as well bet on it not happening, because your mindset is connected to your ability to accomplish things and manifest things. And so I just wanted to say that, and then speak blessings over your weekend and your family and over your holiday season. And I hope that you are able to just have an amazing time with your family and just have peace, because peace is something that you can't buy, and it's not something that can be taken away. I mean, it can be taken away from you if you want to, but be able to have that peace and be able to maintain your peace in whatever situation is a phenomenal thing. So I speak peace over you and your family and friends. So next Fulfilling Life Friday, I will be back in Northern California, but for now I'm in Southern California spending time with family and friends. So if you're interested in subscribing and getting that tool I was speaking about, just go to kiaharris.com, subscribe there. You get 2 motivational emails a week, and you won't regret it, because I'm not going to spam your inbox. I'm just going to be speaking life into your inbox. Okay? So anyways, have a great Friday, blessed Friday, and I will see you next Friday.